If you keep acting the wrong way, she'll never miss you again. And I guarantee, tonight, you won't be able to sleep thinking about this. What I'm about to reveal is so counterintuitive that it'll flip your mind upside down. Subscribe to the channel right now, because that way you help me create even more content to guide you in relationships and make sure no one gets lost in this game. The secret of a memorable. Absence female psychology is clear. What moves her isn't constant presence, but emotional impact. A real example, the guy who texts, "Good morning, princess," every day at 7 a.m. At first it seems sweet, but after a week, it's routine, predictable, disposable. Now compare that with the guy who disappears all day and at night sends, "Today I saw a scene that looked like it came straight out of a movie. It reminded me of you." See the difference? A rare gesture loaded with emotion is worth more than 100 boring texts. Predictability kills desire. Impact creates longing. But be careful. If you try to force this effect by chasing her, you destroy it completely. 2. The trap of chasing. Every female behavior expert knows the more a man chases, the more she pulls away. It's instinctive. Think about a common situation. You send 3 messages, she doesn't reply. Then you send a 4th. "Hey, are you there?" And a 5th. "Why won't you talk to me?" At that point, it's not interest anymore. It's desperation. It's neediness. And neediness is the biggest repellent of attraction. Now imagine another scenario. She takes time to reply, and you just keep living your life. You go work out, post a picture at the gym, share a passage from a book you're reading. You don't beg for attention. You project value. The man who begs for attention loses value. The man who values himself attracts. And that's when the next step comes in. Learning to use silence as your weapon. 3. The power of strategic silence experts. Explain. Silence creates space for her imagination to work. A real example. She looks at her phone and notices you haven't messaged her today. What happens? Her brain starts filling the gap. Why hasn't he reached out? Is he busy? Has he lost interest? This sparks curiosity, doubt, and doubt fuels attraction. Now contrast that with the guy who texts, "Good morning, good afternoon, good night" every single day. No silence, no space. The result? Boredom. Silence is not absence. It's presence in the form of mystery. And just when she starts to feel that silence, another problem shows up. Being too available. 4. Too available? The poison of attractions. Guy who's always on call loses value. Healthy relationships aren't born from neediness, but from respect. Show that you have priorities, that you train, study, chase real goals, that your life doesn't revolve around her. That's not disinterest, that's strength. Women value a man with his own life because it projects security. He's the kind of man they want to join, not control. A real example, she calls and you pick up and say, "Can't talk right now. I'm in the middle of something important. I'll call you later." That kind of response, calm, not rude, instantly raises your value. The busy man is worth more than the available man. And that's when the next trigger comes in. Mystery. Mystery creates attraction, female psychology. Shows. A woman's mind values what she hasn't figured out yet. A real example. On the first date, she asks about your routine. You don't need to hand her a full report. "I wake up, go to work, have lunch, come home." That kills the vibe. Now imagine you say instead, "I've got a few projects going on, but let me tell you something else. Something strange happened to me this week." And you shift into a more intriguing topic. You create curiosity. You leave her wanting to know more. Don't give all the answers. Give just enough to keep her curious. And when she's curious, the worst mistake would be to compete for her attention. 6. Never compete for her attention. Women test men. It's natural. Sometimes she'll mention another guy just to see how you react. The insecure man falls into the trap, shows jealousy, tries to compete, tries to prove himself better. And by doing that, he proves he doesn't believe in his own value. Now, the confident man reacts differently, either ignores it or responds calmly. A real example, she says, This coworker of mine keeps texting me. You give a slight smile and reply, "That's normal, it happens." Then you shift the focus to something else. That kind of reaction shows strength. It shows you're not playing at the same level as other men. The man who competes shows weakness. The man who ignores shows power. And this is when you understand. Confidence is more addictive than love. 7. Masculine presence. Confidence is stronger than love. Female psychology reacts intensely to masculine energy, steadiness, posture, calm. A real example: a couple argues. The insecure man yells, loses control, tries to assert himself through anger. That doesn't attract, it scares. Now the confident man stays calm. Firm eye contact, controlled voice, steady tone. That kind of posture radiates strength. It's magnetic. Being masculine isn't about claiming strength. It's about showing it in practice, keeping your word, staying disciplined, holding steady when others panic. She doesn't just want love, she wants security in the form of a man. And when she feels she might lose that, the most powerful psychological trigger kicks in. 8. Fear of loss, the ultimate attraction. Trigger every expert agrees. Fear of loss is the most powerful female attraction trigger. If she knows you're guaranteed, she relaxes. But when she realizes you can walk away without drama, without begging, the game changes. An independent man who can keep living his life is irresistible. He doesn't threaten to leave. He simply shows he can. A real example: you don't complain that she's not giving you attention. You keep moving. You post a picture traveling, working on new projects, surrounded by people. She sees you're not standing still. And then suddenly she thinks, what if I lose this man? That thought is devastating. It creates urgency, desire, and longing. The man who doesn't need her is exactly the man she doesn't want to lose. In the end, it's not the nice guy she misses, but the man who understands female psychology, who values himself, and who knows how to create real attraction. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comment. That way you help me create more content to guide you, and we can interact down in the comments.